The following program may contain subject matter and language suitable for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first episode of The Meltdown. My name is Norm.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're two crusty old guys who aren't that big on social media, and we have opinions and film equipment, so ergo we have a web series.
Yeah, and we both have phones, even though I'm
we
still
both
getting
have
used to my
phones.
phone.
And we should point out from the beginning that we're not anti-social media. I think what we are is we're a bit annoyed, or a lot annoyed, about how it's being used by some people.
The obsession with it, the
Oh, yeah.
constant use, the spending 8 hours a day on social media is this kind of thing that we're basically looking at. That's like kind
I think
of
so.
odd. Like, go for a walk, people, out in the sunshine.
Yeah, you remember sunshine, right? You've seen pictures of it on your phone.
Yeah, and leave your phone behind. Don't walk in the sunshine with your phone, because that just defeats the purpose. You might as well just stay home. So, you know.
And then be on social media.
Yeah, and
So
be on
really,
social media.
it's a vicious circle.
Yeah.
But this is an introductory episode,
Yeah.
so we're not going to be ranting on anything just yet. However, we're going to be covering all kinds of things. We're going to be covering Facebook and Twitter. We're going to be covering all kinds of interesting facets of not just social media, but also what phones do and how they have changed our lives, and you know, how people have become possibly slaves to their phones. And we're going to wrap it all up in our 10th week with a pro social media episode. So we are going to pour on the love. We're going to love social media because it does have its place.
Oh, of
right?
course.
It has its place, but it's kind of misused sometimes, I think. Now, how this all started, Jeff and I were working on a video project together at his place. And when I was packing up my gear and ready to load, I noticed that your cell phone was sitting on your, what is it, like a...
Well, like a table drawer thing, and sort of you walk
in your
and-
foyer.
Yeah, foyer. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
foyer.
and I said to Jeff, I said, do you always leave your phone there? And what did you tell me?
I think I said no. I actually, what I did say was that, you know, half the time when I get home, my phone, I'm pretty good about putting my phone in this little box that I have in my car. I mean, I'm not tempted really to look at my phone. I'm driving anyways, but I put it away. And when I get home, I typically forget my phone in the car. And sometimes, you know, I'll get home, say at 9 o'clock at night, and eat supper, watch TV, go to bed, and the next morning I'll wake up and realize that, oh, my phone is still in my car. So that sort of led to, like, yeah, sometimes my phone is I just absentmindedly leave it somewhere in my house or perhaps in my car. So that's how that all began, because I'm actually quite happy that I don't feel obsessed I don't feel the obsession to constantly look at my phone when I'm at home. You know, it's kind of like, you know, I mean, you know, checking for those 2 important emails a day, or 2 every 3 days, as opposed to the 20 emails I get that aren't that important. So sometimes I just forget my phone is even there, and so it happened to be just lying on that sort of desk in the foyer.
But you told me that that you kind of liked that, and you kind of left it there, and you'd go downstairs and watch TV and stuff. Now, if your phone, if it was an emergency and it kept ringing and ringing, I'd take it, then you'd get up and check it.
Yeah, well, there's a time and a place for everything. So I mean, there's times when I do need to, you know, I am waiting for a phone call or a text message. I mean, that does happen, you know, every once in a while, but it's just not a whole lot. I don't have the kind of life where people are constantly, you know, they need to get back to me right away. I don't have that very often, you know, these sort of I need to get back to you right away situations. So that's why I can afford to sort of forget where my phone is.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about this in length in another episode, but that is, I think, one of the things that has changed is that now, I mean, back in the day when I was, you know, if somebody called for you, whatever, you get back to them when you could. And today, it seems like the attitude is, oh my gosh, somebody texted me. I have to return that text this second. Like, I don't understand why. Like, it's kind of become this instant thing. I guess people have always been into instant gratification and stuff like that. But to me, this urge that you have to respond, like, what's the worst that can happen if you don't respond for an hour?
Yeah.
You know? And you know what? That kind of does tie into the whole thing. There's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the main message of what we're trying to say, is that there's a time and a place for everything. And I think social media is just gone, just out there.
Yeah. It's interesting because people are on their phones and Bluetooth, whatever, don't seem to be used as often. What is the plural of Bluetooth? Bluetooths.
Yeah.
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And so people appear to be talking to themselves, which is perfectly fine. I actually talk to myself a lot. I remember I'm the kind of person where, like, you know, it's like an aside on stage or in a movie. It's like, what should I do now? So I'm not criticizing talking to yourself. I do it all the time. I know actually several people that talk to themselves, but I just find it interesting that you'll hear a person, quote unquote, talking to themselves, and maybe sometimes they are talking to themselves, but sometimes it's just because they're on their phone. You don't realize that they're on their phone, and
that's right.
It's interesting that it's like, are they talking to themselves, which is perfectly fine, or are they talking on their cell phone? Oh, they are. Okay, yeah, I didn't see what's hidden there. Yeah.
But it's cool for people who drive now and talk to themselves while they're driving.
Yeah.
Because now if somebody looks at you, like, you know, in the old days, they'd look at it and you go, hey, you know, like, guy, look at him, he's talking to himself. Yeah. And it's like, there's nobody else in the car. Look at this, check this guy out. But now it's common to pull up beside someone who's just going, blah, 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 blah. And so for those people that do talk to themselves, it doesn't matter anymore because it looks like you're on a Bluetooth or something. So you're safe. Yeah. We want you to join us over the next 10 weeks because we've got some great stuff. Next episode, we're going to be focusing on Facebook. Facebook. Some interesting stuff, some not so interesting stuff. Yeah. But we hope you can join us. We'll see you then.
Cool.
Cool.